Today, I would like to share with you all about the Kids of Character Bible Study program from Character Concepts. We're going to talk about everything that is included in the program, how we specifically used it in our homeschool this last year, and some other ways that you can use it in your homeschool. I will also share how we liked the program after using about half of it so far. Hi everyone, welcome to our homeschool table. My name is Jerilyn. I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kids. They are age 11, 4, and almost 2. And here on my channel, I like to share all about homeschool mom life. And so I talk about curriculum and reviews and planning and things like that. So I hope that you'll click that subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. This is a Bible study program from the company called Character Concepts. This is the main Bible study book that comes with the program, Kids of Character. This is level 3 in their program, and there are actually 9 levels total, ranging in ages from preschool all the way up through high school. This particular level 3 program is geared at approximately age 7 through 10. And my daughter just turned 11, and we still have half of this book left. So she will still be using it when she's 11. But this is a really great program. This is the actual Bible study book that she writes in. This is a consumable product. And then you also get this book called Portraits of Integrity. And I will definitely show you inside of these here in just a moment. But these are stories about people who demonstrated whatever character quality that you're working on in real life. So these are really great. You read one of these each lesson that you go through in here. So this Bible study has 45 lessons, and we do 1 lesson a week in our homeschool. And I will explain that here in just a few minutes. But I did want to share that the last component of this program is the flashcards. So this just has a flashcard for each character trait. So this one is alertness. So it gives you the definition of alertness here on the front of the card. And then on the back of the card is the corresponding Bible verse that you are working on throughout the lesson. There is a flashcard for every single character quality that you're working on in this level. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a little bit more inside of the program and kind of how it works. So let's go ahead and look inside first of the Kids of Character Bible Study book by Marilyn Boyer. This is how to apply 45 character qualities to your life to be more like Jesus. So right here at the very beginning of the book, it says that the study is intended to be used with the flashcards. So that is this set of cards here. And then while you're working through the study, work on the corresponding flashcard each day. And then you move on to the next quality in your study, reviewing the flashcards previously learned. So then here is the table of contents, and you can take a screenshot or zoom in if you would like to see all of the character qualities here. They are listed in alphabetical order, and there are just a few pages to do for each lesson. So my daughter, I looked through her book, she has finished all of these on the left. She actually finished at honor. So when she restarts, she will be starting at hospitality, going through wisdom. So I'm actually going to flip to the back of this book because she's done a lot of writing in here and I don't want to show you that. So we will just go ahead and start with joyfulness. So here is the first spread for joyfulness. Each character quality has 2 full spreads. So that was it. This part and this part. Now each of them are a little bit varied in length. Some of them have more questions, like this one has a little bit more as far as things to fill out, but they're all just the 2-page spread. So let's go ahead and look at joyfulness. So you would start out by having your student read the definition and the memory verse, and then there are questions that go along with it. So they would fill out the answers to the questions, or if you don't want to have them fill out the Bible study, you could just talk about them. And then there's a passage of scripture to read and answer questions, and then another passage to read and answer questions. Then there are always application questions. They call them ifs. So if this happened, what would you do? And so then they fill out what they would do in that case. Now, then you would have your child find the card that goes with this. So here's the joyfulness flashcard. Choosing to have a good attitude even when circumstances are tough to bear. And then this goes with Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. And so you could hang this up in your school space or just have it anywhere in your house that you will see it frequently. And we didn't really use these cards very much because I am actually having my daughter go through this fairly independently. So she mostly just uses this as a Bible study, and we aren't really using the memory cards. We did, however, use the memory cards back when we were doing this in our morning time. So that is another way that you can use this study, is you could use it with all of your kids at the same time and do it during your morning time just verbally. So instead of having them write down the answers, you could either have a book for everybody if you really wanted to write the answers down, or you could just verbally ask the questions. And then that also leads into some really good discussion with your family about these application questions. So after you have gone through the study on that character trait, then you would go into this book. And at the beginning, it has which character quality and then the person that goes with that. So let's find joyfulness here. This is about Lieutenant Armand Pinsard. Okay, so here's joyfulness. So again, in this book, it has the definition and the verse that goes along with it. And then you have a few pages of the story. So you could either have your child read this if they are on the older end of this level, like my daughter, or you could read it aloud during your morning time. So there's several pages about this person and then questions at the end. So these can be really helpful to kind of go through and talk about with your kids. And they're a little bit leveled. You know, some of them are about explaining something or telling about a situation or how they did something. So there are lots of great questions in here, and there are usually several. So I'll just flip through a couple of these so that you can see kind of the length in general. 7 questions for this one. So these are something that I have my daughter narrate to me after she's done reading this, and I have that on her weekly checklist so that I don't forget to have her narrate what the story was about. So now let's go ahead and talk about kind of how we would schedule this in our school week. So I use a weekly checklist system for my daughter, and so going across it has Monday through Friday, and then going down it has all of the things that she's responsible for completing each day. So on her checklist, after she does her Bible reading in the morning, she works on character. So I have it listed on her checklist just on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then I have on her checklist character story on Thursdays. So that means that she knows she has to complete these pages and these pages for that lesson through by the end of Wednesday. Then on Thursday, she looks at the story, and then after she's done reading the story, she narrates it to me, and we talk about the discussion questions. So for this particular character quality of love, just as an example, she might start by reading the definition and memory verse, and then doing these first 3 here on the first page. That would get her through so that she could just do this page on Tuesday and this page on Wednesday. That is most likely how she would handle that. And then on Thursday, she would go to this book and she would find the one that goes along with love. So it's right here. Oops, sorry. That is not love, that is loyalty. So then she would find the one on love, and she would read this story here on Thursday. And then when we got together and she narrates to me about the story, we might go through some of the questions as well. So that would be 1 week's worth of Bible study with kids of character. So I hope that it was helpful for you to see inside a little bit about how this program works and the different components of it. The way that we do this in our homeschool is very independent for my daughter. So she does the Bible study portion on her own, and then she reads the story on her own as well, and then narrates to me or answers the questions. Sometimes we do maybe just one or two questions, or if there's one that I really think that she needs to pay attention to, I will talk about that one a little bit more. But for the most part, she is pretty independent with this. Now, that is not the only way that you can do this program. You could do this program with all of your kids, and it doesn't really matter what age they are, to be really honest. I mean, a 7 to 10-year-old can read this pretty independently, and I think that's kind of why they put age ranges on it. But especially if you're going to use this in your morning time, you can use it really with any age range. So if you're going to use this during morning time, you could schedule it very similarly to how I explained my daughter does it, where you talk about the definition and the Bible verse that goes along with it. And then you could go through some of the questions just verbally with your kids. And then after a couple days of doing that, then you could read the story that goes along with it in the Portraits of Integrity book, and then talk about those questions at the end. My recommendation is to split up the Bible study portion over at least a couple of days, because otherwise that would be kind of a lot to go through. But another way that you could really do it when you are splitting it up is do part of the Bible study portion and then one of the application questions at the end of each day. So that is another way that you could structure it. So Bible study and then application, and then the next day a little bit more of the Bible study, and then another application question. And usually there are anywhere from 2 to 4 application questions. So you could kind of split it up however it best works for you. And then of course do the Portraits of Integrity book after you have done the Bible study portion. So how have we liked using this Bible study? Well, I have really enjoyed it because it's a way for my daughter to do her own personal Bible time without much instruction from me, because we do Bible study in multiple different ways here in our homeschool. So we do Bible reading together. She does Bible reading on her own, and then she does a Bible study like this. And we keep it pretty low key. These really only take maybe 5 to 10 minutes each day for her to work through that section, which is a really good amount of time. I feel like for this last year when she was using it, she was 10. This coming school year, we're going to be doing the other half of it. And so she will work on one character quality per week and do all of the parts that we just talked about. So then we will probably be done with it in, I don't know, probably early spring next year. So she will just move on to the next level of this program once we are finished with this one. And then we will just keep on going from there. One thing I did forget to mention was how much this program costs. So currently, as of June 2025, on their website at full price, it's $54, and you would get the Bible study book, the Portraits of Integrity book, and the set of flashcards. And it comes in a nice little baggie for you. And I feel like that's a really good price. I do know that they have sales from time to time. I think actually they just had one maybe like a month ago. And if I remember correctly, I think there might be a discount sale in like January, I want to say. So you might want to keep your eyes out for that, or subscribe to their email list, because they're always sending out emails to let you know when different sales are happening and things like that. I'm also happy to share on my community tab whether or not they're having sales. I'm not an affiliate with this company as of right now, and so I don't have like a discount code or anything like that, but I just really love the programs. We have used the Character Trails Level 2 program. We did that in like 3rd and 4th grade, I want to say. And then we also used the preschool book, but we didn't use it during preschool. I didn't actually realize it was a preschool curriculum because it doesn't say preschool on it. But we used that in like 1st and 2nd grade a little bit. So we have used levels 1 through 3 now, and hopefully we'll be doing more in the future. If you guys have any questions about the Kids of Character Bible study program, please let me know down below in the comments. I'm happy to answer as best as I can about this program. I would also love to hear what are your favorite character study programs, because I know that there are more than just this out there, but I would love to hear from you as to some of the things that you've used, or if you've used this particular program before. I would love to hear how you liked it. Don't forget to click that subscribe button down below before you leave and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today at our homeschool table, and we'll see you next time.